Hello, my name is Tucker, and welcome to Storytime. I'm a member of Team Bloodrush Fellows here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. We are sponsored by the store Iron Lion Collectibles that you see on your screen right now. I'm the creator of the mobile app FaB Life, so if you haven't heard of that, please check it out. And if you do use it, thank you so much for using it. And I'm here today to talk about a 1K that I hosted on December 15th of 2024. So I was really excited about Jarl's release. I'm a long-term Oldhim fan. I love the guy to death. He was my main for his entire run. Was sad when he LL'd. So man, when Jarl got announced, I was stoked. He finally came out, and I looked at the calendar and saw there's no competitive event until February. I didn't want to wait 3 months. I needed some reason to workshop this hero at a competitive level. So I said, screw it. What if we hosted a tournament? Let's have a cash tournament, and whoever wants to come can, and I'm going to play Jarl. And after that, I don't care. And it sort of ballooned into this whole 1K that I'm really proud of how it turned out, called the Colorado Tournament of Champions. So a little bit of details on how that came together. It was hosted on December 15th. Thankfully, Iron Lion Collectibles let us host the tournament right there, even though they themselves are not hosting the tournament. They said, hey, we're only open 4 hours normally on Sundays. We're happy to stay open longer, and you guys can come host a tournament here and use the play space as much as you'd like. So big thanks to Iron Lion for letting us host it in their store. The format was classic constructed, of course. We ran it as an on-demand in gym. We had a cash payout similar to SCG pricing, so I had defined ahead of time, here's the format, here's the payout. We ended up having 26 players total, about 10 more than I was hoping for, so I'm actually ecstatic on the turnout. Thank you to all 25 other people that showed up. I really appreciate you guys. So we ended up having 5 Swiss rounds and then a cut to top 8 as dictated in the judging documents. Our judge was Mr. Ryan Castillo, who you can see here in the back. And a little side note here, my teammate and friend Wesley Cole was meant to judge this and got deathly sick the night before. So I was frantically running around like a chicken with his head cut off trying to find a judge for this tournament so we didn't have to cancel at the 11th hour. And I messaged Ryan at 9 p.m. the night before this tournament saying, hey, I'm in a bind. Can you judge this? I know you're planning on playing. What's up? And no hesitation, he said, yes, I got you. I can do it. So man, this guy is a saint, and I love Ryan to death. Thank you so much for helping the whole tournament run without a hitch. It was a really nice last-minute clutch. I also apologize if y'all can hear my cat meowing. That's Lin wanting to get out the door. So we did, of course, require deck lists. We had deck checks conducted by Ryan. Again, thank you to him. Everyone paid $30 to enter. So with 26 people, I think we had a total price pool of like 780. It was 700 and something. And then minus the money to pay Ryan, it was 600 and something total, split out across everyone that makes the top 8 cut. So if you make top cut, you at least get your money back. Overall, it was an awesome day. We had a ton of raffles, so thank you to members of my team as well as the Team Iron Rot Raiders and Xavier as well for donating some awesome cold foils and play mats and everything. All 26 players got a raffle, and that was a personal point of pride to me that I wanted everyone to leave with something and have a good time. Our local backpack vendor, Michael Lipsky, thank you to him as well. He donated 2 players' entry fees back to them if they were the bottom 2 players in Swiss just for sticking it out. So we had an awesome way to encourage some of the more casual players to come and just have a good time. And even if you're losing, not to leave early, but just to hang out and have a good day. So that was an awesome move by Lipsky, and we really appreciated that. And I had like a big whiteboard where I put, all the stats of exactly how much people are getting paid out, how many people we have, what the rounds are, go talk to Ryan if you have any judge questions, all that kind of stuff. That way everything was crystal clear from the start. That was nice. And then we also had a stream from Iron Lion too. So if you would like to watch some of this tournament from the stream, I'll be sure to link that in the description below. Thank you, Iron Lion, for streaming the tournament. That was so cool. And if you've checked out my channel and you've seen the LifeGain Jarl video that I just recorded, then there are 2 or 3 games on that stream of me playing this Sigil of Solace Arcane Polarity Jarl build on the stream. So please go check that out and support Iron Lion's YouTube channel. So after a lot of planning, it took about a month of planning, lots and lots of polls to see what do people want in terms of, what the pricing structure, everything like that. Lots and lots of polls, make sure everyone's voice was heard. So the day arrives, and I get there at noon, because we said doors open at noon, the store opens at noon, we'll start round 1 at noon 30. I've never hosted a tournament before, so I get there right at noon, not wanting to pressure the store, but wanting to, get there early enough to sort of get everything going, get my poster filled out, start taking names, all that kind of stuff. And I expected to be the first one there, and then people trickle in, and us start a little later because people are running late. And man, I was floored from the moment I pulled into their parking lot. I pulled up and I think I saw like 10 to 12 people standing outside the store just shooting the shit and chatting and having a good time before noon, before the store even opened, because they were that excited. So that was such a cool way to start the day, just to see people there and excited for this event that I've been hosting. It was awesome. By the time 12:30 rolls around, we had all 26 people here. They're like wrapping up their deck list, and we ended up running round 1 at 1 o'clock, because for me, I just underestimated the amount of logistics needed in terms of, I had to fill up my own deck list in person or in paper. I had to make sure that everyone had paid me, get like a big checkbox, everyone, make sure everyone's in the event, make sure everyone understands what's going on in terms of like the cash payout and everything. So we started around 1. I would say in hindsight, that is like one of the biggest things that I will do different next time, is having a bigger gap between when the doors open and when the actual round 1 starts. So we get 26 people. Our hero breakdown is 3 Aurora, 3 New, 3 Prism, 2 Jarl, 2 Victor, 2 Florian, 2 Reinar, 2 Viserai, 2 Zen, 1 Dorinthia, 1 Enigma, 1 Kayo, 1 Riptide, 1 Levia. So if you'd like a visual of that, here's a very quick... this is the 26 player breakdown that we had at the tournament. So overall, I was really, really stoked with the turnout. It was awesome. You can see here in the store, everyone's having a great time and sort of getting ready for things to get running. This is around round 1 and round 2. I just snapped a quick picture. So we're just having a great day in Iron Lion. Round 1 goes off without a hitch. Round 2 goes off without a hitch, and everything's looking great. Honestly, there were really like no issues throughout the day. I don't know if it was just because like all the judge calls got answered immediately because Ryan's awesome. I don't know if there just weren't that many judge calls in the first place. There was no like, accusations of cheating or anything weird, any awkward moments at all. Everything went really, really smoothly. So I again thank Iron Lion and Ryan and the players for just how well this event went. We had a great time. 5 rounds. I ended up going 5-0 in Swiss. So I was the first seed player. Cue all the jokes about, man, did Tuck like host this tournament as a grift? Is he trying to take everyone's money? Is Jarl actually secretly OP? And that was a lot of fun until we get to top 8, and I lost in round 1 of top 8, but we'll get to there. So overall, awesome tournament. Swiss was a lot of fun. Here's our top 8. Going from left to right, we have Zen, Jarl, New, me on Jarl, Kayo, Victor, Florian, and Victor. So you'll notice one of my favorite parts of this tournament is I just said in the hero breakdown we had 2 Victor and 2 Jarl. Well, we have Victor, Jarl, Victor. We had a 100% Guardian conversion rate in the meta where Guardian is probably worse than it has ever been. Me as a Guardian main, and I'm thrilled about that. That was awesome to see all 4 Guardians make top 8. Man, I was so happy. So then I played Adam in top 8, and Zephen, the other Jarl, played Mac in top 8. And this is when we realized that Victor is favored into Jarl. Both Victors ended up beating both Jarls, so it is what it is. It's a sad day for the new Elemental Guardian. But honestly, we were all just kind of stoked that, Guardians band together, Guardians strong together, so that was a lot of fun. Other top 8 matches, Peter beat, I want to say, Payton on Florian. And then I think Daniel on Zen beat Simon on Kayo. I could be wrong about those last 2. Then we get to top 4. Peter plays Adam on New. So we are teammates. I'm like, Peter, you gotta avenge me here. You're New, he's Victor. Like do him dirty. He just did me dirty. You gotta avenge me. Cut forward to Peter hitting with Bonds of Agony, banishing all 3 of his cranial crushes, and sending all 3 of his cranial crushes at him because Peter's on double Mistblade like a Giga Chad. So that was awesome to see. Felt really bad for Adam, but we're all just laughing and oh my god, I can't believe he did it. So it was a good time. So Peter moves on to finals, and then in the other top 4, Mac on Victor beats Daniel on Zen. So the finals cut to New and Victor, and this is the face of a man that just sent 3 cranial crushes at Victor in a $50 match or $100 match, and then sits down for another $200 match against another Victor. Peter was thrilled. So cut forward to, man, Mac put up a hell of a fight. I think Peter was at like 5 life at the end of the game. But, here's the finals. This is Peter versus Mac. New versus Victor. Here's the stream setup. They're getting ready to play. Everyone's stoked. Mac said that he truly just showed up to like support me and help the event fire. He wasn't expecting to do well, especially with Guardian and the spot that it's in. So even going up against a new, it's less of a feels bad that, oh, I had to go into new in the finals, and more of a hype of like, I can't believe I got here on Victor, no less. It's awesome. And as the person that used to be the local Guardian player in Springs, like I was just the Guardian guy, no one else would play Guardian. Man, Mac has taken over my role. He is the Guardian player of the Springs now. It's freaking awesome to see him in the finals. It was so cool. So they had an excellent finals. Again, if you'd like to watch this game, it is on YouTube. It is on Iron Lion's channel in the stream that I will link down below in the description box. Feel free to check it out. But spoilers, Peter does end up taking it. It is a very good and close game. So Peter is the first Colorado champion. He is the first winner of the Colorado Tournament of Champions. On new, and a top 8 with 4 Guardians. You know, the smugness in his face says it all. It is what it is. I'm super stoked for Peter. It was really awesome. The irony, of course, if you've seen my LifeGain Jarl video, is that Peter is the one who helped me workshop the Jarl build that can beat new. And then I'm the only Guardian across the day that did not get to play into a new. Is what it is. That's the randomness of a tournament. That's what we play it for. But I just wanted to make this video, talk a little bit about this experience, and say how freaking awesome it was, how much fun I had, how grateful I am to everyone involved for showing up, for helping it run smoothly. Man, it was a blast. I'm definitely going to be hosting another one of these again, hopefully at Iron Lion. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So from here, I'm just going to look at the top 8 deck lists. We have all 8 deck lists for people who were in the top 8. If you'd like to see them, we're going to look now. So starting from the bottom, we have 5th through 8th, 5th through 8th, 5th through 8th, and 5th through 8th. So here is my Sigil of Solace and Arcane Polarity LifeGain Jarl build. There is a video on this deep dive on my LifeGain Jarl build, so please check out the channel if you'd like to see that, or at the end of this video I'm sure there'll be like a card on the screen. So this is my Jarl build, made to beat new, made to beat everything that is not Enigma. I'm not going to talk too much about this just because there's the whole, I think it's like a 48-minute video going into LifeGain Jarl, how it works, what makes this deck breathe. So this is my list. I'm just going to leave it at that. Next, we have Zephen's Jarl. He also lost to a Victor, is what it is. He did not have the Earth package though. So the main differences in our lists is that I was the defensive build with LifeGain, and he was the aggressive build with Frostfang, Icequake, Pummel. No felling or plow under. Zephen, it just did not have the cards. Due to their price point, it just wasn't really feasible for this. So he said, screw it, I'm just going to make a whole ice build. And I said, good luck. Wish you the best, but I don't know how optimal it is. And he top 80 with it, so here we are. He is also on the similar, Providence, Tunic, Sledge main board, Fist, Stalagmite in the sideboard. He's on Rootbound Trunks. These are better for an early blocking scenario, so into -IO or Viscerai or Aurora or something. When you want to block early, Rootbound Trunks are amazing. He is on Chokeslam. He said that was really good into new. It helps into like Zen and other decks, of course. CNC E-Strike are absolutely staple. Frostfang and Icequake and Pummel are like the 3 big cards for an aggressive, proactive Jarl build. Spinal Crush is also really good value. That All You Got helps a lot into New and Zen. It is invaluable into both of those decks. Buckle is honestly, the text mostly doesn't matter. It's just like more 7 Dominate, and more 7 Dominate is pretty awesome. Canopy Shelter helps with on hits, and in a deck like this with Frostfang, Chokeslam, CNC Spinal, it's really going to come up a lot. Otherwise, it's pretty standard blues. Stamp Authority, we agreed, definitely not worth it. You can replace that with any other blue block 3 cost, whatever you want to do. I personally feel the same about Nerves. I'm not sure how Zephen feels about Nerves. You'd have to ask him on that one. But otherwise, it's a pretty standard build, just proactive instead of reactive. This is his top 8 build. He even beat an Enigma with this. I don't know how the hell he did it, but this man on this list beat my teammate Michael Kaywood on Enigma in this 1K. So hats off to him. Here is an ice-focused, aggressive Jarl build that does not focus on earth cards like Felling. And of course, all these deck lists will be in the description below, so you don't have to like study this right now. You can just click the link below. Moving on, here is the Kayo list played by Simon, and I believe that he actually borrowed this list from Ryan, the person judging the tournament. So I don't know if he modified the list or anything. I personally am not a Brute player, so I'm not going to have great insight for this. But this is the list that Simon top 8'd with Kayo. I definitely saw some Savage Beatdowns come out for like 1,000,000 damage, and that was brutal. No Fear is also a really cool card to see. Weakest Link is a nice tech. He definitely was utilizing Reckless Swing all day. And yeah, I mean, to me, it seems like a pretty standard KO list. I could be wrong. Again, I don't really play Brute. It's really not my style. But this is the top 8 KO list. Moving on. We have Florian. And man, Florian is so cool. He's another one of the decks that I absolutely love. Payton and I are on pretty similar vibes in terms of what works and what doesn't. But after the Treehugger Florian list, after last ProQuest season, I just stopped. I put Florian down. I was stoked for Jarl, and I've been on him. Whereas Payton has kept iterating. So his knowledge is probably higher than mine on this list. But it is a Channel Mount Heroic, Channel Millennium Tree switch build, trying to be a bit more damage heavy and proactive, but still doing this like slow Florian grind. So of course you have Barkskin main, Dyadic side. You have the dueling helmets depending on the matchup. You have Reaping Blade just for the cost curve with Grasp. You have pretty much standard stuff. I think he's mainboarding Bramble. I'm not certain of that, but that was like a big question that I had for him is how do you feel about Bramble? For me, it's 100 or 0, and there's no in between. Channel Mount Heroic is something I did not run, but he saw a lot of success with because of the inclusion of E-Strike, the third Rune Rager Swarm, as well as Swarming and things like that. It's a pretty standard build, though. I mean, you had the red Summersfall on the sideboard for Illusionists and things like that. You still have Condemned to Slaughter and the Blue Earths. It's pretty standard. The biggest thing to me that stands out is the fact that it's got CMH and CMT in the same build. I think that's really, really cool to see. I'm not sure exactly how he sideboards this. Notice I just plugged in the whole deck list that I saw from the registered deck sheets. But if you want to play some Florian that you know is certified and tested and top rated at 1K, that is also on both channels, man, this is a great list. I would highly recommend it. Moving on, that's the top 8. Let's look at the top 4. We got Daniel's Zen and Adam's Victor. So we'll start with Zen. This is the one I know less about. Daniel, I don't know him as well. He's a Denver player, but he's a hell of a Zen. Even in the skirmish seasons where I was playing CYB Oldham, because I just love Oldham. However, I have to play him. I played against Zen on LL Zen. I played against Daniel on LL Zen in the finals of the skirmish at Advantage Games up in Denver, and it was awesome. And he got me down to like 1 life. Dude's a killer. So it was really cool to see him drive down and come to the tournament and play Zen at the tournament as well. And I had to sort of pull my guys aside and be like, yo, this guy's a killer on Zen. Be careful. He's on Wax On, which is some new tech. Yellow Tiger Eye Reflex as well is really, really cool to see. 2 Cosmic Awakenings, I know, because one of them could get banished to either like Ancestral or New or like anything like that. So they're on 2 for the late game insurance. Yeah, otherwise it seems pretty standard Zen to me. A lot of Transcend. Of course, he's on like the Transcend Helmet, Kasaya, Shuko. I don't really have better insight past that. But if you're looking for a certified and tested Zen deck that top rated at 1K, here you go. Here's Adam's Victor. This is what I personally lost to in top 8 because he goes E-Strike with Go Again, Outmuscle with Go Again, Tall Spinal, Zealous, Golden Sun for 14, over, like it was just always something. It was pressure, 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 pressure. Rouse into E-Strike into Hammer, like it was just so much that I was forced on the back foot and never given a chance. And then when I would finally be like, okay, I did my math right, here's a felling. I got you. He's like, okay, I'll block 4, I'll replace the card. Like he just had better math than me. So overall, this is a really, really cool Victor list. It has both hammers. It has Chrono Dominion main board, but balanced in the sideboard if you need it. Vambrace as Hopium, I guess. AP2. It has a lot of Go Again. E-Strikes, Zealous, Rouse, you name it. Outmuscle, I think, is mainly for like Enigma tech, but it just does a lot of damage while also having sinks, also having pummels, also having the 6 blocks that replace themselves. So it just had an answer to like everything I would do as Jarl at least. Unfortunately, into new, when you have blue 8, blue 6, blue 7, blue 8 dominate, blue 8, I mean, we all know how that goes. It's unfortunate, but overall, deck is very strong. Adam's a great pilot. I'm really grateful that Adam brought his whole team to the 1K. That was super awesome to see. And yeah, here's a tried and true Victor list. Sticking with Victor, here is what Mac was playing in the finals. Similar, but a little bit different. He is on Rampart in the sideboard, also double hammers, AB3 instead of AB2, also has the Vanbrace Hopium, no Balance of Justice, just on Crown of Dominion. He is on 3 Staunches, which into me was really good. Helped block really tall on stuff like Felling. He's on Cartilage Crush, which is a good sideboard tech. It's like Frostbite before Frostbite was cool. Notably only on 2 Trounce, and he has this cool yellow package here. So Mac's been workshopping like what I would call Yellow Guardian for months and months. He was playing Guardian before Mistveil came out, and then New came out, and when most of us said, oh my god, this sucks, I don't want to deal with it, what do I do? He said, well, I'm going to find a solution, and the solution is yellow cards. And it's worked. It's worked pretty well. I think he used to be on much higher yellow count, so this over time has diminished, but still just having 2 yellow Macho, 2 yellow Righteous Cleanse, and 3 yellow Golden Sun helps a lot. I've even seen him destroy Library the moment that it hits the field. So it's pretty cool to see. He's not giving New the blue Macho, but he's still giving New this blue 8 and this blue 8. So it's less options for her, but she still has options. So he's more hedging his bets to be able to like mid-range it and apply enough pressure. And man, it almost worked. In the finals, he did get New down to 5, even with, you know, only 2 Rowls, only 2 Macho, only 2 Trounce. I don't even see Zealous. No, there's Zealous. What am I saying? Overall, great list, great pilot. Victor's really cool. This is the list. And lastly, let's look at the new list that Peter won the tournament with. Starting with Double Mistblade. Peter loves Double Mistblade. The amount of times that he has told me that people are wrong for like just jumping on only one Mistblade by default and for all matchups. Double Mistblade is really, really cool because then you do things like just sending a ton of blue attacks back at your opponent. So this is how he played the triple cranials back into Adam. You can flick the Mistblades, they hit, it's so good. So Scale Peeler is sideboard, he defaults to double Beckoning Mistblades, has the AB in the deck as well for when he needs it. Siren's Call, I hate this card so much. I think everything New does is really cool, but I hate Siren's Call. It did a lot of work. Has some interesting one-of, so a 1 of Death Touch, a 1 of Smash Up, and a 1 of Eradicate that he sort of sideboards in and out. And they do a lot of work. Even Smash Up, like pretty often he'll play against me for like a 1 for 5 with no effect essentially. And we'll talk about it where he says, well, obviously right now it's not doing much. But this off Codex is like chef's kiss. It's so, so good. So this is in here primarily just as like Codex fodder. Same for Death Touch. I'm not too sure about Eradicate, but I assume it's similar, where he just wants to put in like 1, maybe 2 of these depending on the matchup, and it's just a really good Codex combo. Peter also loves his blue Hiss. This is something that I've asked him about a fair bit. He said it's not required, but it's more like a personal preference thing, and it is his personal preference. It seems to come up a lot, and sitting across the table, it definitely leaves me guessing a lot more, where there are times where he plays an attack, and I'm like, well, I don't think it's going to be a big buff. You have cards in hand, so like I'm not sure, like, are you going to give it go again? I don't know what's about to happen. It could be a Transcend. And so it's like a bigger guessing game once you know he's on even more Hiss. Other than that, it seems like a pretty standard new list. Not a whole lot of frills. Again, across the table, it seemed like Pick to Pieces was the weakest link, but I think primarily that's in because of Enigma, and it just has to be mainboarded due to the amount of stealth. So it is what it is. He slept that in Arsenal a couple times where it like seemed kind of bad, but then you can draw into certain things that just suddenly make it really good. Warmongers is of course there for like Azalea and Viscerai and such. But other than the blue Hiss and the 1-ofs here, I think it's a pretty standard new list. And he piloted it like a champ, took down the 1K, and Peter used this list to become the first tournament champion of Colorado. So yeah, I mean, that's all the deck list. That's the tournament. I did want to go too into detail here. I might make a deck list or a deck tech here with Peter on his new list if we're able to find the time. Might not be able to, we'll see. But that's my story time. We had an awesome time at the Colorado Tournament of Champions here in Colorado Springs, just making our own little like month-long competitive season during the downtime, and it was a blast. I really enjoyed getting to play Jarl and like workshop him in this competitive environment and compete with him, crack some jokes about taking people's money before just crashing and burning spectacularly in top 8. Overall, it was a great time. So thank you again to the whole Colorado community. The people that showed up and competed, thank you so much. Iron Lion letting us host there and without asking for any cut of like the pay of the tournament, thank you so much. Ryan Castilla for judging very last minute, thank you so much. Ben and Ellen Petrella, our like biggest judges here in Colorado, and all the other judges in Colorado. Thank you for helping me behind the scenes with all the questions that I had, because I had not hosted a tournament like this before, and thanks to your help and guidance, it went so smoothly. So I'm just really, really grateful to everyone in Colorado involved in this. I had a great time. I hope these deck lists help you. I hope you enjoyed seeing them and listening to Storytime. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.